Spanish, but I had the most perfect wedding of all time. And I am here to tell you all the things about it, everything you might want to know. I actually asked ChatGPT to write down some questions for me that people might have about weddings in general. If you want my credentials, we were just featured as and I feel like I have so much advice, so much recap information, so much to share about our wedding day and how you can make your wedding day perfect for you. Before I get into this, if you like videos like this, make sure to give this a big thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe. Comment down below when your wedding date is or was. What you guys can't see is that this little boy is sitting here just begging for my attention. So if you notice me looking down, it's at him. It's also looking at my iPad of all the questions and all the breakdowns of things that I have. So let's get into it. Let's start with planning and prep, because a wedding, let me tell you, planning a wedding is like having a second full-time job. I swear, I'm not even kidding. Planning a wedding is like having a second full-time job. You go to your job all day, even during work, you're like getting emails or texts from vendors or people with ideas or people with questions. You're constantly at people's like beck and call, but it's for you. So you're at your own beck and call as well. And it just feels like it's a lot like mentally, emotionally, but also there is physical labor involved as well. And it is just a constant process of planning. So if you're just not at a place in your life where you're ready for all of that to take on the extra, you're not ready yet. You're not ready yet. Wait until you're at a good spot in your life. I feel like we were at a good spot and then the hurricane hit and then I'm like, I wish we hadn't started yet because I would be putting this off for at least a year. And even then, we still filled out all of the marriage paperwork wrong and it expired. So maybe we'll have to have another wedding. I don't know. The first question I have written down here is, how long did it take to plan our wedding? Our wedding is interesting because there was a while where I just like did not see a vision for it. And so by the time that we all finally came to the same conclusion of what we were going to do, I'll get more into that in a minute, but by the time we came to a final conclusion on what we were doing and how we were doing it and how many people we wanted there and all the things, I picked a venue pretty fast. And by that time I was like only focused on dates that had good numbers because I'm like a big numbers person. I wanted dates that had good numbers and it wouldn't be too hot. And also not in hurricane season, of course. So with that being said, we went with February 1st, 2025, and we didn't even take engagement photos for our save the dates until April, and then got them back in May and like sent out save the dates in May. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. So it was 9 months that we kind of went into this. So a lot of people will do it over like a year and a half, even 2 years now, because number one, things are way more expensive right now. And number two, venues get booked up. Like the wedding industry is just like that crazy that vendors and venues and all of the things get booked up within a year and a half out. So people are taking 2 years to plan their wedding, which more power to you. I was kind of like, if I'm going through with this, I want it to be done. So 9 months for us is how long that it took. Did we hire a wedding planner or did we do it ourselves? There was plenty that we did ourselves, plenty, like crafts and reaching out to vendors and finding vendors. But then there was plenty that we absolutely needed a wedding planner for. Basically anything that I find not fun, like linens and tablecloths. What am I thinking? Like napkins, rentals, different types of things, like anything that I really did not find fun. It was like perfect to have a wedding planner. Plus she knew everything. She's like, okay, we're going to go to this website. We're going to pick this color, this color, this color. Okay, pick the favorite one. This is what goes with your scheme. Okay, I like that one. Okay, but then I like the bow on this one, whatever. So that was perfect to have a planner for all of those types of things. And towards the end, when things were getting stressful, we were in our rental because of the hurricane and just life was like a mess, a true mess. It was so nice to have somebody else who could and did communicate with all of our vendors. And then when it comes to the day of, because there is the option to do a day of coordinator or a month of coordinator or a full planner, we did full planner. or maybe we did like semi-full, honestly. I don't even know if we did full. But when it came to that time right before, she was answering every single vendor question and like having all the answers to all my questions. And then the day of, oh my God, I could never have done like anything on the day of. The only thing that we took care of on the day of was like the DIYs. And even that, I just kind of threw it on my cousins because they're all boys. And I was just like, okay, you guys are driving the truck and unloading all the things and then loading them back on, and some adult has to stay sober to drive the truck out of there, and I don't care where the truck ends up. Like if it's in our driveway, that's totally fine and we'll deal with it the next day. We ended up renting that truck for the DIYs for like 3 days, I think, so that we could do loading it the day before and then using it on the wedding, and then we had the full day the next day so that we didn't have to like rush into returning it, because Lord knows that would be just a mess the next morning. Okay, I'm gonna move on to choosing the venue and the overall wedding theme and vibe, because I had a full-on PowerPoint explaining all the reasons that I think we should do a small, intimate, only close friends, beach, like Airbnb type wedding. We could rent it for a week. It would cost less than a regular wedding. You know, our friends could even pitch in for like the days before if they want to come. Maybe not. I don't really know how we were going to do that. But maybe for like meals and stuff. And that's like our bachelor, bachelorette plus wedding. That's all I wanted. Truly, I wanted something small. I wanted something no stress, low stress. Like, I've never, ever been the girl who had a Pinterest board or dreamed of a wedding, wanted a wedding. That was just certainly like not me at all. So I really wanted a beach wedding. Now I got outvoted on that 1,000,000,000-1. Everybody wanted the big traditional wedding. My husband did, his family did, my parents did, even though they like were very supportive, but they were like, you are probably going to be like our only kid who will do a big, huge wedding. So like we do support you doing that as well. So once we decided that, I wanted the vibe to then be, I transitioned to like, almost like castle-y, like estate, or like a museum. Like the Ringling Museum is gorgeous. The Adams Estate is gorgeous. All these places are gorgeous. And then like when we went on all the pricing and everything, it was like minimum $60K for the venue. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. My friends are all getting married in Europe. They just are. To France, flying out to Italy, and they have these venues there that are these chateaus, estates, whatever, and you get to stay for multiple days and have food included and the wedding planners included and all these things, and it's less than that. So I'm just like, in what world? Like, it makes perfect sense to me why people do these destination weddings, because you see the ones that are close, local, and beautiful and gorgeous. You don't get to stay there. You don't get to be there a certain amount of nights. It's like for one night, it's like minimum $60K. Okay? And like, then you have to add on the bar. Then you have to add a photographer. Then you have to add whatever sort of like, I don't know, like details, like a seating chart or signage or whatever. Okay, all the things. Do you want a photo booth? You can't have that because you can't afford it now. Do you want a dance floor? You can't afford it because you can't, like, that's not in the budget. So once I realized that every venue was $60K minimum with nothing really included, I kind of pivoted. This is where I started to get frustrated. I kind of pivoted. I know that there are a lot of venues in Florida. That's where I am, by the way. I know that there are a lot of venues in Florida that are all-inclusive for cheaper, but they're all farms, and that's truly not my vibe. So eventually we got to the Tampa River Center, and I kind of decided that we were gonna make this like our love letter to Tampa. Also at this time, when we decided, we hadn't lost our house yet, and even when our house first got destroyed in the hurricane, we were gonna rebuild. So like this was like, we were Tampa everything. Tampa was like our heart, our home, our everything. Now we've moved a little bit further out. We're still like Tampa Bay area, but so we came to the conclusion that it was a Tampa themed wedding. So our theme was very Tampa. Our theme was also kind of like very Mamma Mia. Like during the day, it was like daytime Mamma Mia. And then during the night, it was like nighttime Mamma Mia. That's what my sister says. She's like, the daytime was daytime Mamma Mia. The nighttime was nighttime Mamma Mia. Because it was like blues and whites. hydrangeas. We were on the river, but also in the city. And then at nighttime, it was like disco balls everywhere, black and white, like a little bit of blue still in there for like the tables and everything, like the white on white cakes, and just everything was a little bit more dance floor coded, I guess you could say. So our theme and vibe was very blues, whites, Mamma Mia, checkerboards, and disco balls, and I don't care if any of that goes out of style or is in trend. I loved it. And then the main theme of the whole event was our love to Tampa, basically. We chose the Tampa River Center, honestly, because it's in the middle of the city, amazing location. It had water, it had city, and it was cheap. Like, compared to the 60K minimums, it was cheap. Now, the only problem with a cheap venue that you have to consider is usually a cheaper venue is a blank slate. So now you have to do all the work to make it come to life, which is what we had to do. So we still ended up going over our original budget, which is the next question, by the way. What was your budget and did you go over it? Our budget was high, okay? And I'm gonna get cooked for this, and I already know it. Our budget was high. I would like you to keep in mind, Tom is an only child. I am the first child to get married. Both of our parents have saved up for this. We already had a house. We already have our sweet little dog. Like, we kind of weren't saving for anything but this. So my whole savings went to this, and Tom's and our parents, like, helped and whatever. So with all of us in, our budget was going to be $60K, and we went over that. Now, also, we did end up having a week long of events. So it does make sense that we went over it, but there were a lot of things that we could have changed to save us budget-wise, but at the end of the day, I knew from the moment that I agreed to have a big wedding when I only wanted a small wedding and a beach wedding and an Airbnb, I knew that the second I agreed to this, it was going to be everything I wanted. Like, I was not going to take no for an answer. I was like, listen, I will compromise. I will have your big traditional wedding. I will do it. It's going to be my way, though. Like, nobody's going to tell me no. When I need the budget increased, somebody's going to find the money because I didn't want this. So the fact that I'm doing it, it's going to be perfect, okay? It's going to be everything I want. Our next topic is DIY and personalization. I don't know if I could even list out all of the DIYs. I will try though. I did our invitation suite. I did our save the dates. I did our place cards. I did cups. I did hats. I did tote bags. I did the seating chart. I did the welcome sign. I did the bar menu. Disposable camera wraps. I did a stand for the disposable cameras, and I did a stand for my student artwork. And right now, that's everything I can think of that was DIY'd. I did so many DIYs, but besides just DIY, I feel like everything was very like personalized. Like pictures of like our parents' wedding and our grandparents' wedding, that's not necessarily a DIY, but it's personalized. And some of the projects that I just listed are like loosely DIY. It's like I made the design and then I had it made through a company or through a seller. So it's not technically like a full-on DIY, but at the same time, it's like I did part of it. I had it done. And then like it's personalized to us. Which DIY was worth it and which one wasn't? I can easily tell you which one wasn't because we didn't end up doing it anymore after I tried and tried and tried. And then after the hurricane washed them away, I was done. That would be florals. Florals are hard. Fake florals are hard, okay? And I see all these people do it on all the apps and I feel like they do a wonderful job and it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing, and I'm happy that I knew that, and I'm happy that I learned that. I'm happy that I only wasted, and I know this is going to sound crazy, the number that's going to come out of my mouth, but when you're talking wedding money, this is not that much. I only wasted like $600 on these fake flowers, trying and failing, because I bought somebody's entire wedding florals from Facebook Marketplace, and then the hurricane washed them away. So after that, I just kind of was done. I was like, we need to just hire a florist. And those florals cost significantly more than that, but it was worth it to just have somebody else do it. Which DIY was worth it? I feel like they were all worth it. I feel like the welcome sign was a little bit wonky, but I feel like all of the DIYs were worth it. I think that the hats, the From Tampa with Love hats, I think that that's my favorite one because I see all these videos of people who are saying, you know, don't do favors. It's a waste. Everybody throws them away. Nobody wants your stupid favors from your wedding. Like, it only matters to you and it doesn't matter to anybody else. And I disagree with that because, number one, I save things from other people's stuff. Like, our friends had a wedding. They had matchbooks with their name on it. I keep it. And now I have a matchbook like bowl, and I'm going to save matchbooks from any weddings I go to or any parties or whatever. Whoever has a matchbook, I'm saving it and I'm keeping it in there. And maybe it's just my keepsake bowl. You know, it is what it is. Maybe it's not just for matchbooks. I don't know what the new trending popular thing is going to be, but I'm keeping your stuff. So that's my first argument. But my second argument is make your wedding merch or your wedding favors or your wedding personalizations or DIYs, make it something people want. So the hats are favors that everybody says nobody keeps favors, nobody likes favors. I have so many photos of people wearing that hat after our wedding, and like, I just feel like it makes me so happy every time I see somebody wearing it, and then I'll DM them and be like, oh my God, love the hat. And they're like, stop, I literally wear it every day. And I'm like, I love that, thank you. But yeah, I think that as long as you make it something that people want, and they know it's from your wedding, you know it's from your wedding, but they're gonna go on the street and it doesn't say like the Smiths, you know, like, I think as long as you make it something, tie it to your city, tie it to your theme, tie it to something that everybody likes or that's trendy at the moment. I don't know what it could be, but like, I just think that there's a lot of hate with the favors, but if it makes your party fun, your party look good on photos, and if people are going to take it and keep it, I liked it. I liked it. I'm so sorry, but I liked it. The oyster place cards are another one that were a DIY, a place card, but also like a favor. It had your name on it, take it home, and I have a bunch of people, even I have had men come to me and say, oh, I still have the oyster with my name on it, like it's over by my little coffee maker, and like I see it every morning, and like it's just cute little decoration in my house now. And I'm like, okay, love, slay, love. So if you can make it personal to your guests or personal to like your overall wedding and not personal to you, I think people like favors. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna lie. I could do a video like deep diving onto all my DIYs because truly there's so many. I loved the teacher sign board thing if you want more info on that. I loved my seating chart so much. Like, it's my pride and joy because it took forever and it was really hard. And I loved it so much. It was worth it to me. I feel like all the DIYs in their own right are like so meaningful, impactful, so detailed, and they would take like a long explanation to tell you how to do it. So if you want me to make a whole video all on my DIYs, I can definitely do that. Moving into the bridal party, so we chose not to have full bridesmaids and groomsmen. We chose to just have our friends kind of be there, get ready with us. I still did all their hair and makeup, whatever anybody wanted, they could still do. And Tom got ready with his groomsmen and stuff. But we didn't want anybody walking down an aisle. We didn't want anybody standing with us, and we didn't want anybody to do entrances. I just feel like it's played out, and like, what is it for? Like, what is the meaning, I guess? And I just feel like for the most part, if things didn't mean anything to us, we skipped it. Like, tradition wise, if it didn't mean anything to us, skip it. Like, my dad walking me down the aisle meant nothing to me, but both my parents walking me down the aisle really was impactful to me. So that's what I did. Both my parents walked me down the aisle. Same with Tom. Both his parents walked him down the aisle. I felt like just giving people tasks like walking down aisles and doing entrances with people that they're not really like friends with. I mean, like, our friends can all be at a party and hang out together, but they're not like besties. So I wasn't gonna put anybody through like my friends doing something with one of his friends, going down the aisle or coming in the entrance or whatever. So we just ex-nayed that. They were just like our people, kinda, in some ways. And as far as their outfits, their dresses, their tuxes, whatever, it was kind of wear what you want. I feel like Tom definitely was pretty clear, like, wear black, and then the blue, he got them all the blue ties just from Amazon. Easy enough. And then for my bridesmaids, I was very, very, very type B. I said, pick a blue dress. It can be blue, it can be floral. I sent them a a mood board and I sent them tons of links of different blue dresses that they wanted. I don't think anybody bought from my specific links. I think they just went off and found something that they liked. But I just felt like, what a more chill way to go about being a bridesmaid than having to fit in a dress that everybody likes and having to look good in the same dress when everybody has a different body type and having to wear the same material as everybody when you might be a sweater and you're not sweater, and then somebody's sweating and somebody's not sweating and you look crazy. And I say I was very type B about it. I know a lot of people do that, but I was very type B in the sense that I didn't even know what these girls were wearing until like that morning when they showed up and pulled out their dresses. There were some of them that showed me like maybe a couple weeks before, just like, hey, do you like this? And I was like, I mean, yeah, but if I didn't, like, it's too late now. Like, I do though. But so yeah, I just kind of let them figure it out. I trust that everybody's an adult, and I didn't think anybody was gonna like wear a dress too close to white, like a blue that's close to white. It was easy, and I just let it be easy. And I liked that decision a lot. I feel like it looked really pretty. On top of that, we did our floral bouquets for the bridesmaids in baskets, and I'm obsessed with it. I was obsessed with that detail. I found it on Pinterest, and I was like, yep, sold, done. And luckily, my florist, that was like included in her package, is she does like those rentals. So she had the baskets, and all the baskets that all the florals were in actually throughout the whole wedding, that was all her. So I didn't have to go get that stuff or source that stuff. That was all her. So I really liked her for that reason too. Within the fashion, we have how did I choose my dress? I filmed a bunch, like trying on dresses, and I just never put the video together. I went with my friends first, and then there were a lot of dresses that I probably could have picked that day and maybe should have picked that day, but I was like, I can't do that until I shop with my mom. I'm so sorry, but I have to go shop with my mom. Then I went shopping with my mom. I hated every dress that I tried on while she was there, and my friends were there as well. Again, hated every dress. Like, I was miserable that whole day. And then I went by myself, and this was like good and bad. I was like, if I go by myself, I'm gonna buy something. So I'm gonna go by myself because it's time. Like, it was about like 7 months away, and you know, every wedding dress consultant will stress you out and be like, oh, it's not gonna get here in time, you need to order right this second, which definitely happened to me. And I went in there and I got a dress that I really loved, but if I told you the price, you'd probably like shudder, like, oh my god, I can't believe you spent that much, because realistically it just got to the point where I was like, I have to buy something, it's too late. And I tried on virtually that same dress at other places for much less of a cost, and I should have just gone back and done that. I just felt like I needed to make a decision, or I never was going to, and so I did. So I paid way too much for a very plain dress and then went and had it altered, and I just knew I wanted something simple and smooth, and like the material, I don't even know what you call it, like it's like silky, I don't know. I knew I wanted that. At one point, I thought I wanted some texture in it. I tried that on. I loved it, but just didn't ultimately go with it. Every time I tried on a basque waist, I almost nearly fell over and died because I had no waist. I was so tiny. I was so gorgeous. But in the end, I picked A-line. I don't know why. Again, I don't know why I made the decision. I think I just was like decision fatigue, and it's not that I regret it. I loved it and I feel like it was beautiful, but at the same time, I regret it. Like, I don't know. I can't speak to it. I don't know. I'm unsure how I feel about it. I am never going to look at photos and say, I wish I got a different dress. It's not about the photo. It's not about the look. It's about that every wedding dress is perfect. That's the hard part. Every wedding dress was designed to be the perfect dress for somebody. Like, every wedding dress you try on has no flaws. And some may look better on you than others, like because of your body type or because of the way that you think about yourself or whatever. But every wedding dress is made to be perfect. Like, of course, duh, it's for somebody's wedding. So there is this struggle when trying on wedding dresses of like, how am I possibly supposed to decide every one is good? And then you get in your head because you go on social media or you go to another shop with another friend who's getting married and you see all these other dresses and you're like, wait, that one's better. That one's better. That one's better. But you could do that till the end of time because every dress is so perfect. And I just feel like you have to make decisions based on, I don't know, your timeline, your budget, and how you feel in that moment. Because you'll always find a better dress the next day. You'll always find a better dress in a year from now. You'll always find a better dress 2 years from now, because they're all perfect. But at the end of the day, like, they're all perfect. So you're never going to look at your pictures and be like, okay, I hated that dress. You're always going to love it. You're just going to see dresses you like more. And I feel like wedding dresses is similar to like everyday fashion. It's like, okay, I love that outfit, but I like that one more than what I wore. And it's like, just because it's your wedding day, it doesn't mean you're never going to see something else you like more. And I don't think you should regret your choice because of that. What was your something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue? I had like a lot of different things. I feel like something new is like your wedding dress, right? I don't know. Something borrowed and something blue were kind of the same. I mean, everything was my something blue because my whole wedding was blue. But I wore my grandma's opal ring, and I feel like that was my something borrowed and my something blue. My something new was like everything I was wearing. My earrings were blue and new. Like, I kind of just had everything. My shoes were blue and new. So it was just kind of like everything was new and blue. And then that ring was borrowed. Okay, wedding week events. So we did a full week of events. We did Gasparilla, which if you're from Tampa, you know. If you don't, it is a pirate parade, boat parade type thing that's like basically like Mardi Gras, but it's our pirate festival. Highly recommend if you're getting married in Tampa, do it the weekend after Gasparilla and ask people to be there for the whole thing. Gasparilla, and then the week leading up to it, you'll have tons of time to do all of the like Florida touristy things you want to do, or if you live there, obviously even better. But I just feel like that was a great start to the weekend, even though it didn't work out the way we wanted to, because again, I gotta bring it up, our house was gone, so we just kind of hung with our friends at their place, and it was very small, very casual, whatever. But I got to take my parents to see the parade. They've never been there and they really wanted to see it. And so I took my parents out to the parade, and it was just like a chill Gasparilla and a chill start to like good vibes for a good week. On Tuesday, we went to a lightning game. We rented this like little area with like food and drinks for 2 hours before the game, and then we got tickets in the 300s for everybody, and then that was it. And some of our friends came to that. I feel like the lightning is like special to us because number one, we love hockey in general, but number two, like one of our first dates was at a hockey game, and we have had season tickets for 2 years now, and so hockey in general is like our thing. So if you're doing a week of events, figure something out that's your thing and do it during that season if you can, because that would be awesome. I would say pick something that's special to you guys. If you guys love like painting pottery, painting with a twist, do something like that with a group. If you love working out, do a workout class with a group. If you love rescuing dogs, take everybody to an animal shelter and do like puppy yoga or something. I don't know, but like figure something out. If you love like movies, go rent out a movie theater and play your favorite movie with a group. Do something with a group that like lets everybody kind of in on like your thing, I guess. The next event was Thursday. We did our welcome dinner on Thursday because we felt like that was an appropriate time for people to fly in from out of state, our cousins and whatever. So Thursday night was our welcome dinner. We did it at Oxford Exchange because it was like a total different vibe than the rest of the week, which we really liked to kind of throw in both vibes. And we did it on Thursday because we felt like Friday is an appropriate day to ask people to take off. And like if they don't want to, it wasn't ever a big deal. We didn't care. But anybody from out of state who took off Friday could fly in after work on Thursday and be there by the time it was our welcome dinner. I loved that night because Tom wore a blue suit. Loved it. It was a new blue suit. It looked so good. I wore my mom's wedding dress, which was super, super special. I had it like tailored, I guess, to fit me. And we just like chilled and got to see everybody. We definitely like had too much to drink, which was why we did it on Thursday and not Friday, because we felt like Thursday would give us time to recover. And then our parents put together a video literally highlighting every invisible string that we had throughout our entire childhood, like since birth. Every picture that we had that aligned, like him as Woody, me as Jesse, him with a snake on his neck, me with a snake on my neck, him surfing, me surfing. It was like every invisible string throughout forever. Then there's even a video in college of my college's team scoring on him. He's the goalie. Scoring on him, and then the camera pans to the crowd, and it's me cheering because he got scored on. Like, they did every single invisible string from birth until like today, and it was so crazy and so cute, and that was super special. On Friday, we rented a water taxi, which is pretty iconic to Tampa Bay. Like, if you know, you know. If you're from here or been here, you've seen those little yellow water taxis going around. This element was tied into like our invitation suite, and it was like a little band. It was our belly band, I guess, around the invitation suite, and we kind of had it incorporated, and it had like a just married sign, whatever. So we rented 2 boats, and we really only rented one, like a 50-person boat, and then like 75 people said they could come, and we were like, what? Honestly, weren't sure who was gonna make it because it was a Friday afternoon. So we're like, all our friends would have to take off, and our family, who knows who's flying in when. And 75 people said that they could come. So we went out, and we went around the river, and there was like an open bar on the boat, and we went around the river and just went over to Armature Works and had some food there and got back on the boat. And like, I did not want that day to end at all. That was my favorite day of all time. So much fun. We wore yellow to match the boats. We had like that plan forever, and that was like my favorite day. Growing up, my family always wore Team Videla shirts whenever somebody had like a senior night, a graduation, like a concert, or like whatever. And so because of that, my parents made Team Videla shirts, but they gave that to Tom's side, and then they made Team Tatarian shirts and gave that to our side, and so everybody was wearing the opposite side shirts. So like, our parents did so many random details that like we did not know were happening. I don't think that I would have like allowed things to happen because I'm like too in my head, and thank God that they didn't ask me for some of the things because I'm too in my head. So just the way that it all happened was like perfect, and I'm glad that I did not have a say in it, to be honest. The last one is the wedding day, so I want to jump into it, but before that, here is my advice. If you're planning a week of events, a weekend of events, multiple days, multiple things, multiple places, it's a destination for some people or everybody, regardless of the wedding you're planning, you really have to let go of your expectations of human beings. Now, granted, nobody let us down at all, but I was mentally prepared for it. And so it was almost more of a pleasant surprise that nobody did. And it was very much, you have to be in this mindset of, if people don't come, that's okay. I mean, we did have like flights delayed, flights canceled and rescheduled for the next day. We had one of Tom's whole like families, cousin family, like got sick. And so it's just important to keep your expectations that it's just for you and your partner. It's not for everybody else. And will it suck if some people don't come, or some people are late, or some people are rescheduled? Sure. But like, focus on who is there. Focus on who is supportive. If you spend any of your energy focused on who's not there and why they're not there and how hurt you are or upset you are that they're not there, that's only taking away from you, your happiness, and your day. So that would be my advice, is like, especially if you're having a week of events or a destination, like, do not expect that everybody's gonna come. We had plenty of best friends, like bridesmaids, groomsmen, whatever, best man, who like came to some stuff and not other stuff. Came on Thursday, didn't come Friday, but then came on Saturday. Totally fine. Like, totally fine. And I just feel like if you're gonna get mad at people for it, don't do it. Don't do it. If you are not in like a healed enough place where you're gonna be mad at people for not showing up every day or the way that you want them to, you're not ready to have it. Let's jump into the big day. First question on my little list is, what was the most emotional moment? And I feel like that was easily the vows. Like, honestly, if anything, it was emotional because it was like nerve-wracking. I feel like the first look was cute, but I didn't really get like emotional, like sad emotion, like crying over anything. I just kind of was like in a state of like euphoria. Like, everything was happy. And nothing was, I would say it was pretty like leveled. And it could be the fact that I was on antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds. that probably helped. But I didn't feel negatives or positives. I just felt like so neutrally like happy and blissful and in a state of euphoria the entire day. Like from sun up to sundown was magic, was beautiful, was everything. I didn't shed a tear for a good reason or a bad reason. It was just like perfect, perfect, perfect. But the most emotional, because like I got to hear what Tom wanted to say to me and I got to say what I wanted to say to him, and we did it publicly, like at the ceremony in front of everybody. That was probably the most emotional, just because it was like nervous, and it's like you are spilling your guts and your emotions in front of all these people. Like my aunt has to hear how I feel. This is crazy, but it's just like, it definitely is emotional. But I highly recommend doing your vows in front of everybody. I feel like it's like the most special part of the day, and when people skip it, like I get it because it's nerve-wracking, but at the same time, like I feel like when I go to somebody else's wedding, like I want to hear why we're here. Like why are we here? Why do you guys like each other? What is your relationship? Because I only know what I know. And like I want to know more. So I feel like I recommend doing vows. I feel like it's super special, and I feel like it's just that much more serious and intentional when you do it in front of everybody. What went wrong and how did you handle it? So the number one thing I can think that went wrong, the only thing I can think that went wrong, was we lost the string to my dress, my second dress. And it was my mom's job to bring me that dress with the string with it. The string was with it. And I didn't handle it that well. Like I didn't cry or yell, or I just was like, how do you lose a string? Like I was so annoyed. I was definitely like rude-ish. But like I didn't like have a meltdown. I just was like, are we serious? Like what am I supposed to do now? Like I don't know. The string was with the dress. And eventually my planner, Amanda, again, this is why you should have a planner, she ran and found that in one of the bins that I just like threw stuff in a bin. In one of the bins, I had this blue thick velvet ribbon for whatever reason. For I used it for one of my like displays at one point, and then we didn't even use that display, but thank goodness we had it. That looked so much better than the tight little string. It looked so good to have the touch of blue, the velvet ribbon, the thick ribbon, and we tied like a bow, and you could actually see the bow, whereas that small string, you can't see that it's a bow. You can't see anything about it. It was so much better. So thank goodness for the mistake of forgetting the string. So I didn't handle it that great. My wedding planner did, and then it looked even better. Other than that, I feel like the only thing that went wrong was like, people kept going out on the dance floor when we had like more things planned, like our cake cutting. And then so they had to tell people, get off the dance floor. And everybody's like, oh, okay. And then we did our cake cutting. And then it was like, they went back on the dance floor. And then our parents did a surprise dance. And they were like, get back on the dance floor. And everybody's like, what? Are you kidding me? And it was like, those things ended up being so much fun and so great and so awesome that like nobody cared in the end. And then everybody was dancing the rest of the night. But I thought that was funny that like people were on the dance floor before like dinner was even supposed to be over, and like mad that they had to get off for a minute. So that just shows like it was a good vibe. Was my favorite part of the ceremony, the vows. Also, my brother was our ordained minister, and my other brother played the piano, and those were both like highlights. It's crazy that my little brother is like an adult and can like be an ordained minister and like officiate my wedding. Like I feel like he's supposed to be in like, I don't know, 6th grade or something. But yeah, so that was special. Just like he's in a band. He runs the band, and he's like has very good stage presence and stuff, but I know that he gets nervous with anything like this that's like out of his element. And so I was really grateful that he offered, well, did he offer or did I ask? I don't know, that he was willing to do it, and that he did such a good job. And I was grateful like for his stage presence and all of his experience, because he did great. And I just thought that it was like kind of cool to see like my little brother like up there as an adult at my wedding. I don't know. And then my other brother played the piano like for the, what's it called, processional. And then when I walked down, a different song played like over the speaker. But it was so cool. Like I literally sent him a playlist because I was gonna just play like piano covers of Taylor Swift. So I just sent him a playlist of stuff, and he learned like Pink Pony Club on the piano. He learned all these like songs and made them like wedding-ish that I would like, and I thought that was so cool. And I just feel like yeah, that was cool too. Favorite part of the reception, so obviously our parents did the surprise dance, which like blew my mind. I wish I could insert the clip, but it's definitely gonna get me copyrighted. You will have to go find that on other social media channels. I will link it in my description if you want to go see it. But that, like, I don't know how anybody could look at that and not be one of their favorite parts. But honestly, my favorite part was just like the vibes were high, everybody was good, everybody was happy, and like everybody was just dancing the entire time. Like, the dance floor was small, I would say, but like I think that almost made it better because it always felt full. Like, it always felt full. Just the vibes were so good. Like, everybody was having fun, and thank God. I mean, I feel like the biggest horror story in my mind, like my biggest nightmare would be like, oh, I get out there, I want to have fun, and like everybody's sick of it and they just like ready to go home or something. My favorite thing about it, honestly, was just that like everybody had fun and it just felt fun the whole time. Looking back, okay, let's talk looking back in retrospect. So we got married February 1st, it's now May. So it has been 3 months since we got married. If you could change one thing, what would it be? I don't think I would change anything about the wedding. I feel like I maybe... If I could change anything about the wedding, maybe it would be that I wish that we had more sunset photos. We didn't take any sunset photos. We took a couple while the sun was setting, but I could hear the cocktail hour. I could hear the music. I could hear everybody talking. I could hear everybody having fun. I could see the grilled cheese and tomato bisque shooters coming out, and I wanted to be there. So I literally was just like, guys, I can't do this anymore. No more photos. Like, I need to go enjoy my wedding. Which I'm so glad I did. See, that's the thing where I'm like, I don't know if I would change it. I had so much fun. I enjoyed every minute of it. But also, like, the sunset was really good, and I could really only tell in a couple photos, like, where it's, like, on the reflection of the building that we're at. But I don't know. I don't think I would change it, but, like, I do wish we had some more golden hour photos. But the truth is, what I would change if I could go back would be the whole week before, how stressed I was and how poorly I was communicating. I mean, I wasn't communicating. I was just being stressed and wanting everybody to read my mind. I needed help with things, but I didn't like the way anybody else was doing it. I was the one who had been DIYing by myself the whole time. So I was like, I want to tell you to do this, this, and that because this and that needs to be done, but then you're going to ask me how, and then I'm going to have to explain it. And then by the time I explain it, I could have done it myself. So, like, I just think that getting to the end, if I had, 1, included anybody more, 2, asked for help sooner, or 3, been able to communicate or work together with anybody, that would have been better. But I just, like, couldn't. I had to finish it strong myself. And I was just really stressed the week before the week leading up. So the week before the event started. And I wish that I didn't spend that whole week stressed out, but it is what it is. What are you most glad that you splurged on? Florals. Florals was definitely the #1 splurge that really hurt when you think about the fact that it's flowers and never going to use them again. I mean, I have them pressed and I have really cool things with them, and I still have some that have been dried out that I could still do more with. But it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. It's more than you were even thinking in your head, probably. And again, I can do a whole budget breakdown if you want me to. Just let me know down below. Comment what you want to see. And it was worth it. I couldn't DIY it. I tried it. And so that was the thing I was most glad that we splurged on. What are you most glad you saved on? I mean, all the signage and DIY and decor. The place cards, the seating chart, the welcome sign, everything that I did myself, I'm glad I saved on it, not just because it saved money, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun to be creative, and I would love to do that as a side hustle and help other people with their weddings if anybody wants me to. So I feel like it like ignited something in me that I hope that I can continue on with now that we've moved and we're settled and we're, you know, finally stable-ish. I hope that I can maybe get like an Etsy page off the ground and help other people with their weddings, because I really did love it and I loved how everything looked, and I think things turned out really well. So I'm really glad that we saved on that, because it was a save, but also because it made me super passionate about DIYing and being creative and crafty. What advice would you give to future brides? Chill out. I don't know. Be chill. Like, everything's gonna work out. Everything's gonna come together. When you see something and you want to do it, wait on it a little bit, look through some other stuff, and then if you keep coming back to it, do it. Don't wait forever. Like, I do think don't be too impulsive, but I also think the longer that you sit on something and see like, I just want a little bit more inspo, like, don't get caught in the inspo stage. That's where I'm at in my life right now, and it is killing me. Don't get caught up in the inspo stage. If you just keep scrolling Pinterest, scrolling TikTok, scrolling Instagram, scrolling YouTube, and you keep scrolling, you're going to find yourself in a rut, and you're not going to be able to get your feet off the ground and start moving. And I feel like that is the problem for a lot of us. Would you do a wedding week again? Yes. I hope to do another wedding week again in my lifetime. Like, I don't want to get remarried to somebody else. But on my 20th anniversary, you best believe I'm calling everybody back up and saying, let's run it back. Let's run it back. If you like this video and you want to know more about my wedding or weddings in general, or you need more advice, or you want to see a breakdown, a budget, a DIY breakdown, something, just let me know down below. Comment, subscribe, like if you like the video, and I will see you in the next one.